In this week's Realty Rant, we're tackling home inspection. Vince Arcuri and Victoria McGuire from Cooperative Real Estate are back with us here on The Blend. Welcome to you two.
Well, it's great to be back. What a relief this weather we're having after what we had last week. What a great weather we're having today on Memorial Day. So I'm glad somebody's getting to enjoy it. We're having to be in the studio.
It's Labor Day.
Oh, sorry.
Hey, you know what? It kind of is one and the same. You get the Monday off. Hopefully you get the off, and we're glad that you are spending some time with us here because we're actually talking about home inspections. Of course, you know, home inspections are key when you're the buyer and you're, under contract. But you guys are saying, no. Sellers should take it a step further.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what, Natalie? 90% of the homes that sell have a home inspection, and only 2% of those homes get a home inspection before listing. So that's what we want to talk about today, the importance of doing it before and why that's a good strategy to use when you're selling your home.
I mean, I would have loved that. As you guys know, I just recently closed on a house. I would have loved if they had an inspection report before, because different inspectors find different things. What are some other reasons why?
Well, one of the main reasons for us is, when you do it, when you sell your home and you get the inspection, you're going to get an inspection anyway. And if you go ahead and make these repairs and these modifications prior to listing your home, when your home ultimately sells and a buyer does their inspection and the inspection comes pretty clean, it shows a pride of ownership, and it shows that the home was well maintained when they don't find a lot of little nickel and dime common maintenance neglect items. So we feel like it gives a more confidence for the buyer moving forward that they bought a solid, well maintained home.
Have you noticed that buyers, when they do come into a house and you're listing the house, say, and they're like, yes, we already actually have done a home inspection, even before you get under contract, are buyers more eager to even at that process, at that first step?
I think it does make them feel better. They know that everything's been done. They don't have to move into a house and spend a bunch of money making little nitnoid repairs. The other thing for the seller that's great is it saves the seller a lot of money, because if you make those repairs prior to going under contract, you're not going to have to use a general contractor. That is a requirement when you're under contract to use a general contractor for any repairs that need to be done. So if you do it before, you can either do it yourself if you're handy, or you can just use a handyman, and it costs a lot less than using a general contractor.
Wow, so really you're saving money.
Nitnoid repairs, that's a big word for you, Victoria. I like it. I like it. Well, the segment is called Realty Rant. And I do want to go on a little bit of a rant here for consumers that we find that most of the time when you do these contracts and a real estate agent, I'm finding, and that, they have the 80-20 rule. In real estate, you have the 7 rule where 80% of the real estate is sold by 20%. Well, in real estate, 7% of the agents are selling 80% of the real estate. I find there's a lot of, and Tampa has some of the best real estate agents in the country. But I do want to say that a lot of real estate agents that are very inexperienced, they don't properly explain the contract to their potential buyer. They just fill in the blank, sign here, sign here. Then they purchase a home as is, and doggone it, when they do their home inspection, they're asking for all these repairs. We have to come back to the seller and have another negotiation point. And, really, if you don't understand the contract, have a lawyer go over the contract with you, because it's one of the most frustrating things to have a home sold, for everybody to get you're lining up your inspections, your appraisal, and then here comes another negotiation point because the real estate agent had the buyer sign a contract that they really didn't. There's separate contracts.
Yeah.
So make sure you explain it and you understand it, because an as-is contract means as-is. It means you're going to accept it with all these nitnoid issues with it.
Well, and correct me if I'm wrong, if the seller does get an as-is contract, then they're kind of feeling like, whoo, I don't have to worry about a lot of the details. But then they're starting to get that negotiation list, and it's wah-wah.
Hey, well, a buyer a typical contract's going to say that a buyer has the right, after the inspection, they can withdraw from the contract if they're not happy, which goes back to where we started about getting the home inspection prior to listing your home and making all those repairs so that you don't have that issue.
Exactly.
Wow. Okay, 2 great topics we covered today. Love the rant, love the information on the home inspection, as always. And if you at home want more information, just give Cooperative Real Estate a call at 813-909-0999. I think I might have had an extra 9 in there for you.
Just hit 9s and 0s and you'll get us.
That's what he always tells me. Or just log on to realtyrant.com.